Oh, Christ. DS1 made top 10 games of the decade for being one of the most influential games, spawning an entire genre. Yeah, Mark, I literally... It's funny. Someone tweeted recently... who was it? Dragon Snooze or something? Tweeted that the PlayStation was doing a thing of, you know, what are the top games of the decade? Like, you know, vote now. And it was a list of, like, all of the big games of the decade. And when I looked through the list and really thought about it, I was like, you know, if you had to choose 3 games that came out since 2010... what are the best? And I was like, well, Dark Souls is one of them, absolutely. And I felt it was for the exact same thing. It's so influential. It's like, you know, Dark Souls, Souls-like is now a tag on Steam. You can click Souls-like and look at all the Souls-like games, right? Like, there's so many games that have emulated it because it's fucking excellent. It's the first game in quite a while that's harkened back to the sort of original Nintendo style of difficulty while being like a nice new 3D game. So I think that it's absolutely one of the 3 best games of the entire decade. The other 2 I chose were Skyrim, for basically the same reason. I think it's incredibly influential, and I mean, it's the most modded game of all time. Like when you go to like Nexus mods or whatever, the top game for mods, you know, the most mods for it and the most downloaded mods and everything is Skyrim. Not to mention 7 years after its release, it got released on a new platform, like the Switch, you know, added it 7 years later and it's still getting sold. Like, you know, its longevity is insane, more than any other game from, like, name a game from 2010 that's, like, still selling for fucking full price today. And then, what was the third? It was like Dark Souls, Skyrim, oh, and then The Last of Us, I think, is the other one that's incredibly... I think it's probably just got, like, the best storytelling in video games so far. So, I felt that one probably one of the 3 best games of the decade. And another one that's still selling copies as if it were, you know, had just come out. Oh, that's not good.